What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another Tottenham update, and we have got the Here We Go last night, the Here We Go and the Here We Marzio as well. It was all kicking off last night on social media, and it appears that Tottenham have or are about to make their first signing of the summer, who is Pierluigi Gollini. We've been bringing you some updates about him the past couple of days, and it seems as though it has gone way forward. I'll just read you the couple of updates that were shown last night. The first one from Ali Gold, which kicked everything off, and he said Tottenham are in advanced negotiations to sign Cristian, Romero and Pierluigi from Atalanta, and that was followed up by Marzio tweeting out some emojis insinuating that he is going to be joining Tottenham, and then Fabrizio Romano came out with the Here We Go, saying that Tottenham are set to sign Pierluigi Gollini from Atalanta as a new goalkeeper, confirmed, and here we go. And the details of that deal is a loan until 2022 with an option to extend the loan until 2023 and an option to buy for 15 million euros as well. And the buy option could become an obligation if some of the targets are reached during his loan spell. And Tomiyasu did say that Spurs beat Atletico Madrid to the signing of Gollini. How are you feeling about the new signing, and is it actually going to get over the line? I know we've got the Here We Go, but we've seen these things before and not get over the line. Maybe not a Here We Go we haven't seen, but we've seen things get to an advanced stage and then fall apart. Are we actually going to sign this guy?
Yeah, I think so. I think seeing as it's a deal that suits everyone, it suits us for sure. Don't have to commit to anything, just a 2-year loan spell or 1-year loan spell with an option of a second year. I think it's a no-lose situation for Daniel Levy. And I think he's a keeper, a good age. And I think it makes complete sense for Spurs to go with this deal, especially if it works out and we like him and we think he's a very good keeper. Then it's only 15 million euros to sign him permanently in 2 years' time. So I think if Atalanta are agreeing to that, I think it makes complete sense. Am I convinced he's going to be the answer to our number one? We don't have a problem at the moment, but is he going to be the answer to replace Hugo Lloris? The jury's out on that. I'm not 100% sure on it. I think he's been done well for Atalanta, but whether he can make that step up at Spurs is another issue. But I think the deal as it's set out, I think we've got Lloris now, so I don't think we're going to let him go. I think we've got a very good keeper now, so I think it's if we rate him and we think he has potential, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, the reservations are out, the jury's out. I mean, he did have a spell at Aston Villa that didn't really go that well. But ever since he's joined Atalanta, or not ever since, but a few years into his Atalanta tenure, he really has started to stake a claim to that goalkeeping spot there. I mean, he's been number one there for 3 years now. And I think he's impressed. He's impressed by and large most parts in his spell at Italy, but his kind of spell at Aston Villa might be a kind of blot on his career and maybe why people have such big reservations about him.
Yeah, but you also got to think how attacking Atalanta play. They play a very, very offensive style of football. And maybe we want a keeper who's used to doing that, who's used to playing that offensive style of football, used to playing with a high line, can sweep, is good with the ball at his feet. So I think that's probably a vision Nuno maybe has. If he wants to play a more expansive style of play, then I think maybe he wants a keeper who is used to that style of play.
Yeah, and I was reading up on about him, and apparently that his distribution is second to none. That's definitely one of the strong points of his game. Coming off his line is quite a strong point of his game. Playing out from the back, those sort of attributes are really a strong point of his game. But one of the weak points of his game apparently are coming for crosses and claiming crosses and stuff like that. So look, we'll have to wait and see how this one turns out. But he is going to be a backup choice this season, that's for sure. The Athletic did go on to say that Hugo Lloris will discuss his Spurs future upon his return from holiday, but the expectation is that he will remain at Tottenham despite the imminent arrival of Pierluigi Gollini. So it looks as though he will be a backup keeper for this year. I'm sure he'll get his minutes in the Conference League and the Cups and what have you. But remains to be seen what happens the following year and seeing if he impresses or not. But I'm just happy that we're getting started in this transfer window already, and it looks like we're getting a signing through the door already. And Ali Gold did say that next week is going to be a very busy week for Tottenham.
Have you seen Gollini's rapping skills?
No, I haven't. Is it any good?
He's apparently a rapper as well. He might have our nickname, the Italian Clint Dempsey, on our hands here.
Well, he's got nothing on Deuce, mate. He's got nothing on Deuce, that's for sure. Another one from last night is that Gollini actually personally liked Romano's tweet of, or not his tweet, but his Instagram post on the Here We Go post of him joining Tottenham. So I do think this one is pretty much imminent. I'm expecting an announcement from Tottenham pretty soon, to be honest. So it looks like this one is wrapped up. So we'll have to see how this one pans out next season. Ooh. But the jury is definitely still out in terms of if he can replace Hugo Lloris or not. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think so. So it's fair amount of game time this season. So we'll see how he does.
Yeah, most definitely. Next up, we're going to be talking about Cristian Romero. As I mentioned earlier on in the video, Ali Gold said last night that Tottenham are in advanced negotiations with Romero and Gollini. And the updates about Romero today, as of now, are first of all from Ali Gold. It says it is believed that Atalanta will exercise their option to purchase Romero for £13.8 million a year early, with Paratici then in negotiations with the Italian side to sell to Tottenham Hotspur for a generous profit. Then Damasio went on to say that Tottenham really appreciate Romero, but at this moment an agreement between Atalanta and Spurs is not close. Then Romano went on to say that Tottenham remain interested in Romero, but is one of the options that Fabio Paratici is considering. Sky Sports mentioned this morning that a deal for Cristian Romero is said to be difficult to achieve. The 23-year-old has a valuation of more than £34 million, with one source indicating that it could be as high as £39 million. And then Charlie Eccleshare this morning says that talks between Tottenham and Atalanta are ongoing for the defender Romero, but no agreement on price is yet to be made, which could prove a big obstacle in this deal. I mean, it's also worth noting, like I mentioned before with the Ali Gold update, that he is on loan at Atalanta from Juventus with an extra option this year. So he's on a 2-year loan deal with an obligation to buy for around £14 million. So it would take for us to buy him off Atalanta, like Ali Gold, for a generous profit for them. I mean, it seems a bit unlikely, this deal, to be honest. I don't know how you're feeling about it.
Depends how bad we want him. Because I think look, he's the class player, and clearly I think Atalanta are willing to sell. I'd be in favour of definitely pushing him out a bit. He's 23 years of age. But yeah, look, as always, with every signing we want, the price is the sticking point. Every transfer, the price is always going to be the sticking point, whether it's Koundé, Lacroix, Skriniar, or Romero. It's always going to be the price. That's the only thing standing in our way, because I think these clubs want to sell. So, of course, it's unlikely from that standpoint. Is Levy going to stump up the money? How much is it? 35 million, they're saying? 35 million?
Yeah, between 35 and 40 million, basically.
How much a good player costs? I mean, that's how much a good player centre-back costs if you want to improve the team. I mean, need to go ahead of our asses and stop thinking we can always get a bargain all the time for every player we want. That's the going price. So Atalanta would have to buy him and then sell him on, so they'll want to profit on what they've got. Do I think that's going to happen? I probably agree with you. I don't think it will. I think we'll probably say, it's too expensive and go for someone cheaper. That's my gut feeling.
I mean, this guy has had a sensational season with Atalanta. He really has. I mean, he got voted Serie A Defender of the Year last year with defenders like De Vrij and Skriniar around in the Serie A as well. I mean, this guy got voted above all of them. Number 1 total tackles in the whole of Serie A. Number 1 tackles in his own half in Serie A. 3rd in aerial duels. Number 1 in aerial duels in his own half. In top 10 for one-on-one defending. Top 10 in pass interceptions as well. I mean, this is a proper player. and he's had a proper season. So, I mean, if we can get this over the line, if we can, we have got a real gem on our hands, in my opinion. And I think I would just stress, I really want this guy to come through the door. I really do. All the stats I was reading on him last night just sold me completely.
Yeah, but you got to remember, like, he was great last year. Before that, he was at, I think, Genoa. And then, obviously, he went from Genoa to Juventus, but went immediately back out on loan. Last season was an amazing season, but he's still young. He's still 23 years of age. We've seen defenders come through at this age and play well and then lose their way a bit. So don't want to go overboard, but yeah, he looks really great. And Copa America, he started the final for Argentina. You think about all the
apparently he was a standout player at Copa America as well.
Yeah, and you think about all the struggles Argentina have had getting a trophy over the line. You know, he started that final, how much that final would have meant to that whole country. And they kept a clean sheet and they won 1-0. So I think that he definitely seems like an up-and-coming star, that's for sure. That's for sure. And he had, as you say, had a well-deserved season for Atalanta. So I'm all for it. I'd be very excited by bringing him in. It seems like one that Paratici sounded out as a potential guy we can get from a club who's not like a big super club or anything like that. So hopefully we can get over the line, but it's all about negotiation skills of Daniel Levy, and we know that's been a sticking point in the past.
Yeah, and obviously we know that Paratici knows this guy very well. He was the one that obviously signed him at Juventus as well. So maybe he can swing him in some sort of direction. But obviously we're just going to have to wait and see how this one pans out. But I think it would be an absolutely sensational signing if we can get him through the door. And if we do get him through the door, we still need more defenders. He can't be the last one. That's for sure. But we'll have to just wait and see how it pans out, to be honest. Let's move on to some other updates. First one I'm going to go through is from Ali Gold yet again, and he says Tottenham are keen to tie up a number of incomings and outgoings before the Premier League starts next week. In particular, is expected to be a busy one in the market for Tottenham Hotspur as Paratici aims to get players in and out the door. So it could be a very exciting week next week. Obviously, we'll be back in the studio to cover it all. So happy days on that one. But yeah, it looks like it could be an exciting week next week, but I'm not holding my breath because when Mourinho was sacked, or at the end of the season, he said that we were going to sign a new manager in 7 to 14 days or 7 to 10 days or something, and it took 72 days. So I'm not holding my breath too much, to be honest.
Yeah, it's only a prediction, isn't it? I don't think he knows 100% sure next week. Like all these things are lined up or not. He's just predicting that next week will be a very busy week. So we have to. You know, it's not 100%, but I'm hoping he's right. I'm hoping we do have a lot of activity next week. I really do, because it's getting close to the start of the season now, and we need to get a move on. We really need to get a move on.
Yeah, 100%. Then following on from that, Fabrizio Romano said Tottenham have been interested in many defenders, but Jules Koundé wants Champions League football. Maxence Lacroix could be a very difficult deal to complete, and Milan Skriniar looks impossible at this stage. At what stage are they going to add Cristian Romero onto that list as well?
Give it 24 hours. I think they'll probably add Cristian Romero to that list as well. That's what I'm saying about, you know, anyone we go for, it's always going to be the price. That's always going to be the sticking point. So it's depressing hearing all that news from Romano, but it makes complete sense, because I don't know if we are going to stump up cash for players that we really want.
Yeah. And then Romano follows on and he says there is nothing advanced at this stage between Tottenham and Roma for midfielder Lorenzo Pellegrini, but we kind of knew that one already. And the last update I've got is that Tottenham have offered, well, we know this anyway, but I'm going to read it anyway. And he says Tottenham have offered 18 million euros plus add-ons, but Bologna want 20 million euros for the defender Tomiyasu. The clubs remain in contact over the transfer while the player is at the Olympic Games. No agreement yet, but the defender's main priority is Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, we were told that they were trying to wrap up this deal before the Olympics, and now they're saying they're going to be in contact throughout the Olympics, and we'll see what happens after. Classic Tottenham, isn't it?
Yeah, look, we're going to spend the whole Olympics trying to get a couple million off. That's probably...
So what's the point? Just for 2 million, just stump it up, man. What's wrong with you?
We take care of every penny we have, and that's how Daniel Levy deals with things. So doesn't surprise me this is rumbling on. Doesn't surprise me at all. So I expect it to rumble on even longer. You know,
do you expect it to happen though? Do you expect it to get through the line, get over the line?
Yeah,
I want 2 million for the sake of 2 million.
I'd like to say yes. I do expect it to get over the line, but Yeah, I do. I do expect us to get him because I think we've stolen a march on the competition. I think we should be ahead of the queue there, but I think it's going to still be a few more weeks until we get over. Like, it's going to be one of those deals that drags on. It's going to be a very long and drawn out process, which is frustrating.
Yeah, well, obviously it could be longer than that because he's in Japan now preparing for the Olympics, which starts this weekend. And that tournament's going to run on. And, who knows? Who knows if it goes on, that is, because there's obviously a scare at the moment that it might not happen. But I guess we'll have to wait until Japan get knocked out the competition, I guess. That's going to be the state of play.
Yeah, and I think that maybe that can help us. Maybe I have to be rooting for Japan an early exit. And that I don't be rooting for that. But apparently as well, according to L'Equipe, Spurs no longer hold an interest in Joachim Andersen.
Oh, really?
That's what reports in France are saying.
Wow, that's interesting. So we'll have to see how these ones play out. I mean, this defender search is becoming a bit of a witch hunt at the moment. The centre-back search for Tottenham.
More drawn out than our managerial search at this point, honestly.
Literally, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get anyone in before the start of the season, but I'm really hoping we can get at least one in. Who?
Connor
Cody. Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. Imagine Connor Cody and Eric Dyer at the back.
Brilliant. Oh, God.
But anyway, that is your Tottenham update today. Gollini, we got the here we go from Gollini. So it looks as though he is the first signing of the Nuno Espirito Santo era. We're going to have to wait a bit longer for some more signings. But Ali Gold has said that it is going to be a busy week at Tottenham in terms of incomings and outgoings. You'll catch the news here first on We Are Tottenham TV. But thank you for watching the update today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.